Hey, how's it going, guys? So today traded a number of stocks. Ended up with 506. I think like 80 bucks in commissions or something like that. Anyway, I did really badly on CRUX because I chickened out. 5 minute opening range breakout. I tried to take it on the long side here. But when it dropped and it was just kind of choppy. I took a small size, like 200 shares, but I just got out and pretty much break even. It did pop up, and then on the way back down, I actually tried to take it again, and then it dropped on me, so I stopped out. Eventually, I did go back in again, but then again, it sort of did these like very small bow flags, and so I just got out at, instead of A B C D, you should get out at D. I got out at C. So this is just not good trading. So I lost quite a bit of money on this drop here. Went long 37.54, dropped like 30 cents, so like 150 bucks or something. But I did make up some money here, and then I made up some here. But it just wasn't enough. So I went short here. Reason I went short at this point is it did like an engulfing crack, but I think I went in a actually I did a good job on this one. It's an engulfing crack, so that corresponded to the 5 minute down here. You look at where the arrow is. It formed an engulfing crack, even though it's a bit later than usual. This is at around 7:08. Usually it's 6:40 to 7, but either way, I popped up, got weak there. I went short. It dropped, and I covered too quickly. And then it held this level, so I went long, but then the VWAP went long with a stop below VWAP. It did pop below VWAP. I got stopped out. I should have waited to see what happens. This is just bad trading. I should have waited for this consolidation. Usually it hits here and it sort of stops, and then either it would drop or goes back up. I could have taken in a long here and would have made some money. And then I got chopped up a bit on CROX. So that's pretty much my trade on CROX. Nothing to write home about. ENPH was a good one. So ENPH, I took it short, opening range breakdown. I think like 600 shares or something. And then I got out a majority here. The reason was it sort of stalled at this level, so I just scaled out pretty quickly. So 1968, 2010-ish, 20... So that's like a 40-cent drop, 30-cent drop. So that's pretty good. I did keep one share and just let it ride. My thing is I'm not too patient, but if I just keep like 100 shares, I'm able to let it ride. So that's what happened. This one lone soldier fought its way all the way down to here. And then I got out, even though it did drop further, but I got out because it started to consolidate. I was afraid it would just pop back up. This was a very big win by the time it got down here. So I closed my position here, and then I saw that it was going to crack this level again, so I went in short, but then I got out pretty quickly too, simply because once it did a drop, it consolidated for like the next 2 minutes. I was carrying a pretty good win here, so I didn't want to jeopardize that. So that was it on the downside, and then I just traded other stocks, and then it started to consolidate. It took a long here, but it was a quick scalp. Reason for this is because there's this SMA coming down. Usually what happens is like this. It would just force it back down before it goes back up again. So I scalped it, and then on the way down, when it formed like a double bottom here, I went in a bit too early, but I just took 100 shares, and then I added to my position when it hit the double bottom. What would happen here is if it breaks through the double bottom, I would have stopped out down here at the 19 level, 18 or 19 level. So it would be 200 shares. But then it held this level on the way up. I added another 200 shares, I think. So I had like 400 shares. So once it got here and it started to consolidate, again, I took some off. So I took off 100 share here. It went through the consolidation, and then I took 200 shares at VWAP. And then I set one at around 20-ish, $20. So it hit $20, got out, and then it went all the way up to 20.35, and then it starts to collapse again. So it did collapse. So that was my reversal trade. And the reason why I took it at this point around here was because that's 10.15-ish, 10.20-ish. So if we go to 10.15, right here, it stopped at this level, at the 1916 level, for 45 minutes already. So when I saw what it was doing, that's when I entered my trade. It did pop up, and then fortunately, this is all luck. I got out right at the peak, pretty much my last piece. And now it's collapsing again. So that was ENPH. So I made money on both the long and short side. And then lastly was GRUB. So GRUB, 15 minute, it made a new 15-minute low. That's why I took it short, but I was also looking at the 1 minute and 5 minute to make sure things look right. 15 minute was just for confirmation. So what I did here was I saw that on the 15 minute, it was forming a new 15-minute low. I didn't chase the stock when it was dropping. I thought about it. I didn't do it. Instead, I waited for a pullback. It pulled back. I took a short, small size, I think just 100 shares. I expected it to kind of pop up a bit. So let that run on the way back down. I didn't really add to it yet because I missed this part. It did pop up, so I added, and then I got out some because now when I added up here, I just didn't want to hold this extra piece. So now my average is higher. So I just got out. Basically, this one is like break even, but my average is higher. On the way down, it got stopped at this point. It actually went all the way down here, but my goal was somewhere around VWAP. So I didn't take it. But when it started to go back up, I actually exited, I think, a big portion of my position here, because usually what happens if a stock is strong is it would hit this. It may try to go back up to do a double top. So I didn't want to be carrying too many sizes. So that's why I did. I exited. I did add back in some here, but then when I popped, I got out. And then when I saw that it held this level, then I went back in, I think like 400 shares or something, or 300, or 400 shares. So I got out here, so I lost some money, but then I made some here. So it's kind of like a wash. And then once it made this double top, I felt pretty confident, even looking at level 2, that it was going to go down. And then looking at the 15-minute, right? 15-minute, really, it was forming another 15-minute low. So what I did then is, got out here because this was the previous level where it held. So I got out a sizable portion here, just because I didn't want this to run back up. It could do a double bottom and then pop back up because it's a strong stock and then go through high of the day. I didn't want that to happen. So I got out 75% pretty much around this area. And then the last piece, I wanted it to hit 35. It eventually did, but while I was oscillating around here, I had something else to do, so I just exited this final piece here, even though it didn't really hit my 35 yet at this point. It did 15 minutes later hit 35, but that was, I only had 100 shares left, so that would have been like $15. So that was that. And then, I messed around with some, this one is good to talk about actually. So, let's see. Which one is it? Matt? Maybe it is Matt. No, not Matt. Maybe it is CROX. Maybe I did try to take it on the long side. So this is why it's good. So CROX. Yeah, it is CROX. And I hate this stock. So what happened here was, I thought CROX may be, so it was strong. It was above all the moving averages. So I thought maybe this would be a dip below VWAP, and then once it's up here, it would try to go for high of the day. So I did go long, got stopped out, went long again, and then I set my stop loss here, a range order. So I was risking, you know, like 10 cents, and then my stop was way up here, so almost like 80 cents to $1 move up there. But then because it's a range order, basically it's a market order, so somehow it lost this level and it just collapsed, and then I lost like $50 instead. So but I only took 100 shares, but still that hurt unnecessarily. Oh, now it's all the way up here, but at the same time, it's good to have a stop loss, because otherwise it could drop to 37.16 from 37.67. So very thankful that I did set a stop, but it's just sometimes stocks it's unavoidable when it does a quick collapse like that. So I guess eventually it did make a pullback. So at this point, it started to go back up, and now it broke through high of the day. Could get past these moving averages. So that was that. But this is interesting. TUP. Now, TUP is interesting because on my ENPH reversal, so TUP on the reversal here, no SMAs above this. On the 5-minute, this was way up here, so nothing holding it down. It should be able to reach VWAP, and it collapsed in the morning, holding this level for quite a while now. On the 15-minute, it did make a 15-minute high, so it hit all the triggers, signals, confirmation signs, all that stuff. And it was the same play, which worked for me on ENPH. It did not work here for whatever reason. The stock did not work. Yeah, so it did go up, did not work, but this is why you have a stop loss, right? I set my stop around here. Somehow I missed, I still had 100 shares, I missed that. So I lost like another $10 because of this 100 shares. I only took 500 shares because I was thinking if I go to VWAP, well, VWAP back then was like around like 11.15-ish. So I was thinking, okay, I go in at 1083, that would be about $100, a bit more than $100, $150, but just going in here, risking 10 cents. So that was a good deal. It didn't work out. It consolidated here, similar to ENPH, where I did do a consolidation. Everything looked good. It didn't work out, and then I stopped out. That's good because it dropped all the way back down to 1053. So if I held it, it never really made its way back up. So it's always good to have stop losses. And this was good risk management, and I'm proud of that. So anyway, that's it for my recap.